Hello, this video is to go over our reflex model. So here's our reflex model. It's been zoomed in a little bit. So this is the skin. I hope you recognize the skin. And we have some sensory receptors. I circled in red the Meissner's corpuscles. We have some free nerve endings. This one might be attached to a tactile disc. These could be pain or temperature. We have receptors. Now the sensory receptors, their job is to detect a change. And they're going to send a signal on an afferent neuron. So what I was using this model for, I labeled it unipolar neuron. Remember, unipolar neurons are afferent neurons, so it's going to the spinal cord through the posterior root ganglia, and it is going to go to the posterior horn. Now, here in the posterior horn, that's an integration center right there. That is where this reflex gets integrated. And yes, that is an integration neuron. So what happens if it decides a reaction is needed, and in reflexes, usually since it's an automatic response to stimulus, there's an action. It's going to send a signal on an efferent neuron out the anterior root, and that efferent neuron is going to go to an effector. So here's our effector, that's our muscle. So again, the 5 parts of a reflex on this model: sensory receptors, we have an afferent neuron, we have an integration center, which is an integration neuron in this case. We have an efferent neuron, and we have an effector. So here it is again with the proper names. This is a picture. This is a beautiful drawing I made in version 1.0 of the lab book. So we have the receptor, the afferent neuron going through the posterior root, going to the integration neuron. Then we have an efferent neuron coming out, going to the effector. So look at the model, figure out what the structures are, and then fill in the blanks in the lab book. There are some spinal cord blanks in that lab book too. There are 2 questions at the bottom of the page I'm sending you to for the model. Answer those instead of 11 and 12 in the lab book. Thank you. So what you would do is you'd answer it here and here. Again, it has to be a short answer, but I figure this is the anterior median sulcus, and 11 doesn't point to anything. So thank you. Have fun. Have a good day.